This is a Live Eco-Style production. Welcome to another edition of Live Eco-Style, America's authority on eco-minded lifestyle and travel. I'm Randy Weckerly, host and travel correspondent, along with Gene Latham, America's #1 go-to confidant in eco-minded travel, dining, spas, tourism, and all-around living the experiential life. Well, our favorite show coming up.
Maui,
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
It's Randy Weckerly, along with Gene Latham, sitting across from me, coming to you from our 48th floor. Wait a minute. I hear a hint. There you go. See, I told you. The hula. We're coming from Maui. We have traveled there many times. We did our show there, and Gene can't wait to get back. And neither can I. We're going to talk about all that. What are we going to talk about today, Gene?
We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. You know what shaka is?
Shaka. That's what I got over my belly. I got my... no.
Do you know the shaka sign?
We read. I can't wait to get into that. I just found that out going through the notes today, and all the times I've been to Hawaii. The chakra. Shaka. Well, I'm telling you, it's going to be a shaka to the guy that made the shaka.
I don't want to get down.
All right, go ahead.
We'll talk about that a little bit, but yeah, I don't want to have to do that sign. Why I think it started out.
From now on, when I do that, I'm going to go like, that guy's an idiot.
Hey, we're going to talk about some trending things.
Yeah.
Just real briefly, not to do with Hawaii necessarily,
Okay.
but there's this really crazy thing going on lately, and that's last year or so, pop-up restaurants and bars all around the country and like lobbies of hotels and things like that.
Pop-up?
I know. Doesn't that sound crazy?
Pop-up restaurants. That
Pop-up
isn't
restaurants.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can't
And
wait to
bars,
get into that.
And bars, cocktails.
So I want to take the plane when we go to Hawaii. I want to fly to Lohihi.
Lohihi.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's the new island in Shane. It's just 10,000 feet below the surface.
Down the road?
No, we're going to find out how islands are made in Hawaii. Oh, wait a minute. There's the birds.
I hear birds. No, I don't hear anything, Randy.
Oh, no.
Weird.
Well, we're going to do a little... are we going to do
Hearing
anything in
things
nature
again.
over there? Yes, we're going to do something in nature.
We're going to talk about some top eco destinations in actually the United States.
Really?
In general, yeah.
In this show?
Yeah.
With
A
Maui?
little bit, yeah. Just a little bit.
All right.
We're going to talk about a few things trending. We'll talk mostly about Maui.
And I'm going to talk about, very important, never to bring back any rocks from Maui. That will...
Myth.
No.
It's a myth.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that.
I'm going to put some in your
No,
suitcase, put
yeah.
you on a different flight.
Uh-huh.
We'll see how it goes for
Wait
you.
till I read the stories. It's straight line evidence.
Hey, we got some great stuff coming up, though. We're going to be talking about one of our most favorite people over there,
Yeah.
Luciano.
Ooh, I love Luciano.
Yeah, Kula Bistro.
Yep.
Great chef over
Yeah.
there. We're going to be talking about Weston.
We're going to talk about the Westin down at Lahaina. It's right on there. We've stayed there. We were on the beach there,
Right.
the Kanapali Beach.
I was going to say Kanapali. Yeah.
Absolutely most beautiful. And our friend Ashley over there in the Westin's going to... If you need a place to stay, the Westin's the place to go. The Westin and the Sheridan.
Do you remember the King's Highway?
Well, who could forget?
I want to talk about that today.
We're going to talk about it a lot. Our friend Daniel Sullivan.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. This is an incredible story.
Yeah, he wants to take us out on that. We'll get to that, and can't wait to go over there with a camera and get out there with a backpack and walk a little bit of that with him. I want to talk
a little bit.
That is one big walk. That is one walk. Well, in fact, it almost killed him.
I know he did.
And he's from there.
Had a pretty dramatic thing happen to him.
Yeah, and what a photographer. I mean, the guy is a photographer. We're going to talk about, of course, Luciano. We're going to talk about organic vodka. Best beaches, Kapalua, Upcountry, Ho'okipa, and Jaws, and Little Beach. And that's all about being naked at sundown.
Don't forget the vodka.
we're going to dig right into this, Gene. We can't spare a minute because this is what we have waited to do this show. It's about Maui. It's about Hawaii. We're going to be taking people there, and we're going to have a great I just can't wait. I mean, seriously.
I know.
I cannot wait. And we have talked about doing this for years. How many years?
Well, and the cool thing is, I mean, the thing is that the places that we go to, it's so fun because we can talk from the heart, as far as what we experienced, what we saw, who we met, types of food.
No notes needed on this show.
No, absolutely not.
I got some fun notes that we're going to talk about how the Polynesians found Hawaii. That story to me is fascinating. Can't wait to
tell.
No, not yet. Do you want to get into that right now? Well, I guess it's at the beginning. That's where we'd start. Yeah,
we can.
So anyway, well, it is the beginning, and you are the.
Okay, tell us.
Well, basically, what it was is that the Polynesians down in the islands that were far away, about 2,000 miles or so, found a way to navigate around the ocean, and they became very, very good at it. And in fact, what they did is they found a way for about 150 of the stars that are in the sky. Mm-hmm. They memorized them. And then the most intriguing thing that I found is that they had some lapses in time. So basically, it was about an era of 300 to 600 A.D. that they sailed around just literally millions of miles.
Right. They're just like sailing around looking for cool islands.
Wonder if there's anything over there. I'm out over there. I don't know. I didn't see my
How do you know when? I mean, they just kept paddling until they found
what
land?
What they did is that birds would signal that something was over there, so they go like if a bird came from there, they get land, and they had the sensitivity that I guess the best way to say it is that when we experienced this. When you know where the waves are reacting and how they should react and they reflect, off a shoreline, they became very. They said there has to be something over the hill that's making those waves come toward me.
Got it.
So what they did is that they just continued sailing. So
in that direction. They really learned to read nature. Basically,
they did.
They read waves. They
did.
Watched birds.
They did. Yep. And they brought over about an 800-year period of time. They brought all kinds of things to the islands, and they were able to get back and forth. I mean, they'd get there. It's paradise, and then they'd say, "Let's go back."
Where were they getting back and forth from?
It's about the Polynesians, Gene. Polynesian migrations, this segment. Polynesians explored 16 million square miles of ocean and settled on every inhabitable island in the Pacific. They brought their world with them when they arrived in Hawaii, voyaging a canoe from the southern Pacific, primarily the Marquesas Islands. And they began settling in 300 to 600 A.D. Now, after they arrived in Hawaii, the stories and chants they brought to Western Polynesia soon grew to include events and details derived from their home. Now, the thing about this is that they passed down this information by just telling the story. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that story took nothing happened from 800 A.D.
So I have another story of how Maui was created in the Hawaiian Islands.
All right.
Legends say that the demigod Maui pulled the Hawaiian Islands from the sea and lassoed the sun atop Haleakala.
And we're going to get into that.
The island's highest peak.
Yeah.
The island of Maui was named after this mythological being. Perhaps because of the shape of the island, it is said to resemble his head and body.
Right. Well, speaking of head and the body being together,
yes,
the Polynesians back then decided that human sacrifice was established as an element of religion. Obviously,
I'm glad I did not live around that time.
Not a religious experience with restrictions. I mean, it was a pretty wild time, and the history of Maui, if you go into it, King Kamehameha going way in the future into the Hawaiian Islands, and I'm going to tell you, there's no more gracious people in the world than I would
agree with that 100%.
The native Hawaiians that are from there, and I never want to tread on the spirit of the islands because that's something until you go and you understand and you talk to the people. Again, they love tourists and they love to treat you well, but they love their islands more. I've been there in times on Easter. Mm-hmm. When you would see the celebrations on the seashore. Mm-hmm. Beautiful when you go to church and they're elegant clothing, and then in the afternoon they go to the beach.
Right.
Put the nets out. They live the experience of life. And actually one of the things about it, and we'll get off this topic because we got so much to cover, is that it's over there. It's about life is what they say is life is not about work.
Right.
And we found that out.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's definitely it takes you a few days just to acclimate because everybody you're used to going at such a fast pace, and everybody moves. I mean, there's no hurry, there's no rush for anything.
And the thing, if you remember, we were there at Christmas time, a couple weeks before,
right?
And it's like, what do you buy somebody in Hawaii? I mean, a sweater.
Stocking cap.
You go to the mall and you go, well, they have everything. They have all they need is a T-shirt and a sweater.
Right. It's free relaxed pair of flip-flops.
And they go to the beach, and that's how they live. Yeah. I mean, so it's great. So anyway, go ahead.
So here's some facts about Hawaii. So first of all, Hawaii has more than 80 incredible beaches and a combined shoreline that spans 120 miles. A lot of beaches we saw, and we're going to talk about some of those beaches, but they were absolutely stunning. There's lava, there's black sand. Yep. There's just some great for snorkeling if you've got families and younger children. Haleakala.
Yep.
I know a lot of people, it's kind of a little bit off the beaten path to get up there. You have to do your due diligence to get up there.
Let's talk about our first night on
real
Maui.
Early in the morning. But it absolutely highly recommended.
Wow.
What were you going to mention?
Well, our first night on Maui, it was just a little bit with things that were going on. And the thing to do, if you're going to go to Haleakala, and you go up there to see sunup, a couple things you need to do is take along something warm to wear because it's about 32 degrees.
Right.
But since your body's off time.
If you're coming from
the mainland.
Anywhere.
It's a 5-hour difference.
Right.
So you're going to wake up at 2:30 anyway.
Yeah, from the Midwest.
Okay. And so, anyway, the first night I was there, I said, hey, Gene, wake up. What? We're going for a ride.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's 2:30. I know. We're actually a little late. So if you leave around 3:30 to go up, you're going up 13,000 feet.
Right.
You're going to go above.
There's coffee on the way up, too.
What was that guy's name?
I was just trying to think of the name. Oh, I hate that.
Very famous.
I was going to write it down. But anyways, this is a great little coffee, a little trailer thing that you stop because there's most places aren't open when you leave to go up there.
And don't worry about falling off the side of the island. You won't see it anyway.
You'll never know. Never know what happened.
Very safe. The roads are very safe. And
how about the road to Hana? How safe was that?
Oh, we'll get into that. 600 hairpin turns. Gene says, drive faster, faster, faster. No.
White-knuckled. I'm
can't drive it
I think
fast.
I'll drive back when we come back the other day.
No, it's all good.
54 bridges. 600 hairpin turns.
Yeah, I know.
And
awesome.
mind you, there's some pretty significant drops.
600 going and 600 coming
back.
1,200 turns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. No, it is great. Haleakala, we'll get back into a little bit. Where are we going? What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. There's so many things.
Yeah.
Maui is one of the things, I guess, and we always talk about the food, but one of the things that I appreciated so much about the trip there was the level and quality of food. And I'm talking, we ate, actually, it's probably ate the best that I've ever ate and probably lost weight simply because of the type of food you were eating. All fresh vegetables, fish, so deliciously prepared. Just over the top. Farmers markets everywhere. I mean, everything is so. I mean, it just grows. It doesn't get cold there, so stuff grows year round.
We actually, when it comes to that farmers market, you better get there early.
Right.
It's not the tourists that's going there.
Right. It's the locals. That's where a lot of locals shop.
And because of the weather, one of our friends, what a great guy. He serves drinks down at
Tracy?
Tracy
McGuire.
Yeah.
At the Grand Wailea. At the humuhumunukunuku.
Poo. I don't know.
It's got like 25 letters.
It's called humuhumu.
Yeah, for sure.
At best, we were absolutely that's where we met Tracy. The first time we wanted to go see the best sunset in Maui.
Tracy, the bartender / surfboard. He makes professional surfboards.
Right. And his wife, in their house, in the backyard, grows organic food for that grocery store up in Paia.
Yeah.
And that's how fervent it is. He said, no, it grows here so quickly that when she puts stuff in the backyard, she's taking it out of their backyard to the grocery store to sell it there for organic food. Right. I mean, it just grows and propagates because it's a perfect place to grow.
Very cool, very cool.
But Tracy was a great guy, just a great guy.
Hey, the other guy, and I know you didn't have the opportunity, but I spent part of a day with him, was Mike McCoy.
Yeah.
He has an organic farm in upcountry up by Kula.
Yeah.
And I think it was Pukalani.
Yeah.
Just
right.
A bit up the mountain from there.
Right.
And oh my goodness, I spent like 4 hours with him,
right,
walking his 2-acre farm, and the amount of food that he feeds, and he sold actually to all of like the best of the best restaurants on the island. And I mean, I was stuffed when we left there because he kept saying like, try this, you know, all kinds of weird things. I actually went into a beehive. Yeah. He makes his own honey.
Right.
And that was kind of frightening because I'm allergic to bees. But he's like, nope, as long as you stay calm and you're all cool. So
well, if people want to go see this, you can go to, I think it's on Vimeo. We have a lot of the shots that are on there from Maui of that trip. We're actually going to produce a 1 or 2 hour show documentary on that whole thing. The other thing, when you went up there, basically, one of the funniest things was we were fed by the 3 number one chefs on the island. And they all claimed it, and they all wore it, and they all invited us to dinner. They were all delicious. They were all good. Yeah. And the thing is, what Gene was saying about the food is that you go there, you don't eat, you actually lose weight. Even my son and daughter-in-law went, they lost weight, but you're never hungry. Right. Ever.
Yeah, you're going to eat the most food that you've ever ate, but it's just so good.
And the thing of it is, Grand Wailea. They have honeybees in the top of the hotel.
They do. I was just trying to think, what was that cool little cafe that we had breakfast in?
Cafe Olé.
Cafe. No, not Cafe. Well, that was good too. But the one like there was chickens running around underneath our feet while we were there.
No, it's right down in across from.
It's in Kihei. It's in Kihei.
No, it's in Kihei. It's across from that beach at Kaumaoli Beach Street. Yeah. And everybody goes there. You wait in line. It moves, and as popular as it is. During break, we'll look it up. And get it because it really is. I
forgot about it until we were just talking about it just now. Yeah.
But we ate there every other day. And Cafe Olé for lunch. Oh, my goodness.
Very good.
The locals eat there, and it's $10 basically for a plate. And it would be at nighttime. It goes up a bit because it's nighttime and like tourists don't know it.
Triples.
What people don't know, and we're going to get into, is that there is a culture that you can actually go to Hawaii, and this is part of our show, and afford it. All I remember is the first trip I took my family to the store back in 1990. We go to the store.
How old are you?
Oh, shut up. There's a term for it in Hawaiian. I just can't remember it. Ancient. But anyway, we went to the grocery store, a Zika place, and we go in there, and I bought 4 bags, big little plastic bags.
Right.
And it comes out to about $180. And because the sticker shock is on my face, and we've been traveling for 24 hours.
I think that happens to a lot of people there.
Then
initially, first trip there.
And the person that we're taking our money, cashier, she says, "Do you want to take that home or eat it here?" Seriously,
this is going to feed the family for the week. No. Trust me.
Do you understand those buns just cost $2 a piece, and that gallon of milk is $8?
Do you know why? I was actually reading this, and I knew some of this, but I didn't know all of it. Do you know why prices are so much higher? There's basically 3 reasons. And we'll get back to
Hold that. Yeah, I want to hear that. Coming back. Aloha and mahalo, Randy and Gene. Well, guess what? We are going to take people to Maui and Kauai.
We are. We're taking a group of people.
Yeah. Let's talk about Maui first.
Okay.
We have a new relationship, and we have so many great relationships over in Maui. But right now we're looking at taking a group of people. If you want to sign up, go to Live Eco Style. The trips are forming.
Sometime next year or early part of
and probably both.
Yeah.
We can't wait to get back. Yeah. We have many reasons to go back there. We love it, Kauai and Maui. But in Maui, working with Starwood and Marriott, they have the Sheraton Hotel and they have the Westin Hotel in Lahaina.
Well, we just established so many neat relationships while we were there, too. I mean, I can't wait to get back to the people that we know and love.
Oh, yeah. Well, where we're going to go eat. Hotel Wailea over in the Wailea area. Grand Wailea is another place we can go. And all, strangely on a small island like that, they're all a little bit different. And there are so many reasons to go with somebody that knows what's going on.
Right.
Because Maui has 2 distinct areas, and there's a road that goes from one to the other. And you want to either stay in one area or the other area because of sometimes the traffic problems.
Well, depending on how long you're there. But there's definitely, again, as I mentioned, you're not going to get anywhere real quick, but it's so worth it.
Yeah,
there's no reason to hurry while you're there.
No. Well, you get up in the morning, you do what you want to do. And honestly, everybody wants to dress real well because they're going on vacation. Swim trunks and a T-shirt.
Take a skirt, a nice top, swimming suit, cover up, flip-flops, some good walking shoes, a couple pair of shorts, and maybe one nice outfit, and you probably won't wear that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, can't wait to get back. It's so much fun to talk about going back. It's so exciting. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to go to Kauai because that's your favorite place.
Yes.
Tell us why, Jean.
Yes. I was waiting for my turn to talk.
No, go ahead.
Never holds me up usually, but no, Kauai is my favorite probably. I shouldn't even say that. I mean, Maui and Kauai they're two different islands. Mm-hmm. Kauai, what I love about that is just the outdoor and the nature part. Right. And again, you know me, but it's got such a diverse climate. It's basically desert, dry down on the southern end, and rainforest in the northern.
Listen to this. It's Haleakala time.
Ooh.
Haleakala, where the sun comes up on top of the clouds at 13,000 feet. There's a Native Hawaiian chant, prayer every morning, praying and blessing the island. And we've been there to see it happen. And it is truly uplifting and spiritual.
Literally watch the sun come up over the top of the clouds.
Yeah.
You're so high up.
It's cold, but it's just the most amazing thing to see the sun come up over the clouds. Typically, when you get up there, the reason you want to leave early is that it's full every day. Mm-hmm. Haleakala State Park. There's about a $10 fee to get into the park.
I think so, something like that. It's nominal.
Yeah, they have up there an astronomy observatory.
Oh, remember those planets that we saw that only come out like every
200 years?
200 years, yeah. And they were blooming while we were there.
Do not mess with them. Yeah. That's big time.
I took pictures.
Oh, and by the way, the young lady, Native Hawaiian that's up there, never walk off the path. Mm-hmm. She will make an example of you.
You will feel like you're in first grade again.
Yeah, you will get back on the path. Straight and narrow, boys.
No, they're very protective of it up there.
And rightly so.
Yes.
Yeah, we have great pictures again. We'll put them up on our site. But you drive down the road after the sun comes up, and you look over the clouds into the valley. You can literally look down to where you're going to be staying. In the evening, you're going to look down and see it. And it's just stunning because you can see the whole island. You can see the north, south, east, and west. You can see where you fly in. You can see where you're staying on the beach.
And the whole day is an adventure actually getting up there. I mean, it's all part of the fun. It's getting up there in the whole process, even though you have to get up real early in the morning. Right. But then there's so many interesting places on the way back. Right. How about those bikers that were riding the bike down the hill?
Yeah, you can. You
10,000 feet. You can start at the top of it. You rent these bikes with a guide and drive the bikes down the mountain.
And you can go part way down. Mm-hmm. And you can go all the way down and make sure the brakes work.
It's a long ways down and it's very steep.
And I think if you take a look and you're going up by car instead of by
like tour
bus, you're going to see trees that are purple and green, and then you're going to see heavy trees where the climate changes.
Yeah,
again,
you definitely can see the diverse levels of different climate changes. Yeah. And there's just some cool stuff to do on the way down. There's some that restaurant, Granny's restaurant. Yeah. Kula.
Yeah, they're pretty famous. We'll get to Kula in a minute because Kula is a great place to stop coming back down. But the cool thing is that one day when we were coming down, of course, Maui is known for its rainbows. Mm-hmm. And we're coming down and we saw this rainbow below us. And we said, I think we're going to drive right through that.
Yeah.
And we actually have a picture.
Did.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah.
That was that wasn't close. It was close to Makawao?
Yeah, Makawao. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. So where are we going next? Keep on task here.
Well, we can go anywhere we want. Actually, let's talk about Makawao since we brought it up. we had some fun there. Makawao is kind of a crazy little town. Yeah. And I mean crazy in a good way. It's got some really great shopping, great artists and stuff, a lot of local, people out on the street, playing music and stuff like that. Good food. It is also kind of I want to say a little hippie-ish feel going on. A lot of kids that, younger kids that we ran into, 18, 20, 22 years old, kind of taking a year off from school, taking a little break. Yeah. They were working on some farms, that's all I'll say. And how about Casanovas?
Well, Casanovas we could get into here just for a minute.
We could.
A breakfast place by morning.
Right.
A topless place by night.
Topless?
Well, I think
that's not. It's not. No, that's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. There's close.
So let's describe the evening. We're getting.
First of all, they do have ladies' night. I believe that is on Thursday night. So apparently, if you want a really good, entertaining night, that's the night to go.
So then, what happens, Gene? Late at night.
What happens is, and the owner, Stephen, we talked to him, and basically he said the whole climate changes as the night gets later and later. They have some actually great bands that come in there. Some really good music we heard, but. Kind of everybody comes out of the woodwork, and we saw some funky things going on that night. It's if you're into maybe voyeurism.
Well,
I don't know.
Again,
there's very scantily
shirts
clad,
optional. I guess we'll talk
people
about that.
Body painted. Yeah. They have a lot of like black light stuff going on with the music. Yeah. It's a really fun, eclectic.
Yeah,
it's not for the faint of heart.
No.
But there was nothing that we saw that was. It wasn't like dangerous
not
or scary or anything like that. Very fascinating. It's
It's where the locals hang out. Very much so. And if you had to go up there and have fun, we had a ball. We saw a guy dancing with a giraffe.
That's right. I forgot about that. Geishas. Remember the
geishas coming out? That's very interesting. And it just, it was a great time. Macca wow. I think they had that good bakery, the base pastries in there.
Oh,
donuts.
yeah. Actually, it was like the number 1 bakery in the island, on the island.
Yeah, and remember that when you're on Maui, you're not more than an hour away from anywhere. You could go around the islands, and like Hana, you're going to be.
Do you remember also when we were there? Remember we went. This was my Gene PS. Remember we went up that hill, and I'm like, let's go up this hill. It's the side road outside of town, and we went up that. And we got into these I don't want to say they were redwoods, but they were these huge. Remember those huge trees?
Yes.
That were it was like an enchanted forest that we drove through for quite a while. In fact, and the other thing that happens up there is it rains a lot.
Right.
And so there'll be like washouts and stuff. So you have to be kind of conscientious about the weather a little bit.
And remember, it's cool. You're going to be at about 3,500 feet.
Yeah.
And it could be 65 degrees.
Yeah, you have a jacket. Like light jacket.
Very damp.
Yeah.
And one of the other facts that was pointed out to us on Maui, even though it rains almost every day, it's in a drought for many years. And that makes no sense to us until we looked at it, is that the people on where you stay and you're on the beach are getting their water sometimes from Hana, which is just staggering because you sit and you see it, the water, you can see it rain.
Right.
But somehow it's not diverted to the right place. So, and power. Just again, 30 seconds on that.
Oh yeah, energy. Yeah, energy is an issue there. I mean, the cost of it is very, very high. They're putting up a lot of the wind turbine systems. We saw quite a few of those coming in, but they're coming in gradually.
And they sit in the hill, right on the hill, the big wind areas. But the thing is, a lot of the homes and businesses have converted to as quick as they can solar panels on their roof because it is very expensive.
Right.
Electric bill. I talked to one of the shop owners. Electric bill per month could be $800, $900, $1,000 a month. So they have to be very, very careful on what they do with that.
Right. People don't run their AC very often when it gets real hot, and a lot of times you don't need it there. I mean, it is pretty pleasant climate. Wailea gets pretty warm there. It gets pretty warm there.
But again, very little rain.
Right.
The reason you go down, you have down on the south end. We'll get into this right after the segment. But on the south end, down by Wailea McKenna area. They have cactus growing, and then on the north end by Kapalua, they have pine trees, just because of the difference in the elevation. Yeah. So let's talk about what's at the end of that island, Gene, on the south end, where we kept going.
The road that you didn't want to go on?
No, I don't want to go down that road.
We cannot drive on that road. No, look at it. It's like one lane.
That's what it's at the car rental agreement. Do not go down that road.
And Randy Ice follows the rules, and I do not.
Yeah, well, and again, I'm going to hand you the bill, Gene. And we're not supposed to go down that road. It says right here, if we go down that road and you're caught on that road.
And I said to you, you can get out, stand by the road. I'm going. I'll pick you up on the way back.
Yeah. So how'd that go for me? And I'm going to tell you, so what we learned going down there is it's called volcanism.
Volcanism. Is that like a Star Trek term?
We go to islands because islands were made by volcanoes. And the islands, just a little fact, the islands mostly were formed down by the Big Island. And they're going to crash into Japan. Not next year.
Are we going to see this in our lifetime?
No, but it does go fast.
Probably not, yeah.
Okay. Small fact is that on Oahu, the runway there, when they had the shuttle program, they had to reset where it was by GPS because it actually moved like an inch a year. I mean, it was
crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So this place that Randy's talking about, though, it is so cool there.
Right.
It is. I mean, we drove into it, and you literally feel like you're on the moon. It looked like a lunar. I mean, it looked like a set on a Hollywood, whatever. I mean, it was the volcano fields of old, obviously old hard lava, black. And went on for miles and miles, and we drove through this, and it was just fascinating. Also, some of the best snorkeling there, too, and these alcoves, these little bays.
We'll be back.
Live EcoStyle, the leader in eco-experiential lifestyle, inspiring, guiding, and connecting people to have deeper, richer, and more personal experiences. It's about uniting people, conservation, communities, and sustainability. Join us in Costa Rica as it occupies a privileged spot. Touching both the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, the country is surprisingly accessible. Your face and family can experience the fresh breezes of the Caribbean in the morning, as that region of Costa Rica stands out for its variety of aquatic ecosystems, its beautiful white and black sand beaches, providing an ideal setting for activities such as sport fishing, snorkeling, and sunbathing. And then a short 45-minute trip by car for the evening sunset on the Pacific coast, as it concentrates big tourist centers and its beaches are magical for leisure, sunsets, and surfing. Live EcoStyle captures the pure joy of discovering the eco-pleasures the world has to offer. It's a lifestyle, where and how you live and travel. The culture, the community, food, health and wellness, featuring relaxation and nature. An adventure experience from an eco perspective. Join us and look for our upcoming destination trip. Live EcoStyle listener trip featuring Costa Rica, an experiential, eco-minded destination, and our liveecostyle.com website that captures all of the great things to do while in Costa Rica. Eco-minded tourism, beaches, rainforest, see an active volcano, love your family, have a great time, and you don't need a vacation from your vacation when you return home. That's liveecostyle.com.
It should not be stressful on Maui.
Talking about beaches.
Let's go to the beach. Sounds the beach. Going to the beach.
You did not want to hear the conversation before this came back on.
What's it?
You weren't there for the conversation? You were in it. You were part of it, Randy.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know.
So, we're going to talk about beaches. We're going to talk about some of the greatest beaches that we were on. There's so many.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mama's Beach?
Well, it's Mama's Fish House.
Right.
It's
but you know where the fish house is.
Well, yeah, it's the beach in front of Mama's. It's
Ku'a'u Cove.
Is that what it is? I just called it the beach in front of Mama's Fish House.
Yeah.
And it's open to the public.
Yeah, it's interesting, though. Remember when we went there the first time? We were like, we were trying to figure out where you park and how you get there because we weren't necessarily going there to eat. We just knew that there was a beach down there. And they have these, remember the blue cones? So it's actually a public beach, but a lot of people don't know it because Mama's Fish House is right next to it. And that's a really popular, extremely good restaurant.
Well, it's one of the best in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been voted number one, top 10 all over the world for off and on for different travel magazines. But there was those cones there, and we asked the guy, the valet, and he's like, no, this is a public beach. You just have to get out, move the cone, which we did, move the cone to walk down to the beach. And it was so cool because it is, oh my gosh, stunning, the pictures that we took. Remember we took them through the...
Well, you can't get a bad picture. But the cool thing of it is, and I regret that we did not go in the water there, go back. Because the day that we were there, the water was calm and clear, and that one woman had her baby down there.
They were snorkeling down there.
But it's not popular. Nobody goes there because you would never think that you...
Well, you don't know. People don't know how to get there. Yeah. But if you pull into Mama's Fish House, into the restaurant, there's blue cones on the left. Or, I'm sorry, on the right-hand side, and all you do is you get out and move those, and you can park in these empty parking spots.
Yeah. So I don't want to take up your time, talking about that. Where are we going? I want to have it be your agenda right now, Jean. Why is the next? Well, because if I was going to talk about that, I'd go down to Hohokipa.
Oh, that's my next place.
Yeah,
Jaws. Remember Jaws? Remember the
Jaws?
Remember you almost got swept into the ocean there?
I'm lucky to be here. Jean and I, just so you know, the day before, she almost fell off. Well, she did fall off the island.
I did fall off into the ocean.
With very fancy camera
equipment.
With a
very expensive piece of camera in my hand, yeah.
Jean was there, and then she wasn't there. It was seriously, you got to be very careful.
Note, do not wear flip-flops.
No.
On these, they have these ramps, and they're covered with kind of seaweed and stuff, and they don't look really slippery until you step on them. There's something that doesn't have a tread, and I literally went up in the air about 3 feet, flat on my back, cracked my arm, cut myself, but I saved the camera.
You did. That's remarkable. And I couldn't. Actually, it was so slippery, it was hard to pull her back up.
Right. I couldn't.
I mean, there's no traction.
Well, I was trying to film these little crabs. These little black crabs are running.
And there's a $5,000 camera.
Yeah. And I almost drowned.
Well, save the camera, Gene. Throw it here. You'll float back. You're worried. But then when I got same camera the next day, we're on the other side of the island in an area that had a fence, not hard to cross, and they had the pictures are stunning because you see kiteboarders.
This is also where people get swept off this cliff every once in a while, too.
And the thing of it is, it's a 100-foot fall onto really hard.
Were you carrying rocks from the island
in
your
not,
pocket
we'll get
at
into
the
that.
time?
No, I was not. I honestly, I didn't think I was in danger at all. None. I was just shooting, and I was about 15 feet away from the edge. And what happened is that because the waves were so big the day before, you would never think waves could get up in this area, by the way. And it filled up this like 4-foot just pocket, like a hole, in the mud. And I didn't see it. And I slipped into that, slid out the other end. And again, the camera hit the ground very hard, but I was about a foot away from going over the edge.
Yeah, well, that's what people swept out. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Well, we can say where it's at. It was at Ho'okipa, which is also like this famous surfing place. The first time that we were there, remember the waves there? I mean, they were just, I want to say violent, but they were huge, and these surfers were out there, and it was just incredible.
You would never imagine, in my world,
and the kiteboarders, really,
never imagine that you would ever, not in my world, get in on a surfboard and just dive into those waves.
Right.
I mean, they're 30, 40, 50
crazy.
feet tall. And it comes from, just quickly, those waves, they know when they're going to be there because they're formed in swells up by the Aleutian Islands. And that's...
that was like in December, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always that time.
Like
it's
that
the same,
there,
the North Shore of Oahu.
It was also the place we got to do some fantastic whale watching. Remember, we could see, we had the cameras and stuff.
Well, we have this one picture of these two kiteboarders going out, and the whale come up between them.
Oh, yeah. That was very cool.
And we're going to save that for our pilot, because it's not horrifying, because apparently the whales give every kiteboarder a pass. They're not eaten. Sharks will maybe nip at you, but not the whales. They don't. So, Ho'okipa. Jaws is another area where it's sort of fenced off. You're not supposed to be there, but people somehow go down there.
People get down there, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And people periodically get swept out to sea there, too. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your little beach. What goes on there, Randy?
Well, for the hippies in the crowd.
Beautiful beach, by the way. Beautiful beach. Yeah. But you have to be a little adventuresome to get there. You have to literally climb up over a rock.
Yeah. Well, put it this way. We sent our camera crew up, and they came back wide-eyed and horrified. Now, it's an area on Maui that the culture is...
It depends on the time of the day, though, too. This is in the evening. Some crazy stuff happens at 6 o'clock.
Clothing is very optional. Yeah. It's known as the nude beach, and people go there that live there. I mean, they're there to live there.
But it's also a really calm beach. I mean, if you're cool with people, whatever, walking around naked.
It's only at sunset.
It's
not like...
I don't think
you're not going to see it during the day.
But there's a lot of families that go there. It's a really calm beach. Yeah. But at nighttime, they have some crazy stuff go on. They have, like, fire jugglers and all kinds of music and, kind of laid-back people just... The
thing of it is, you have to climb up these steps.
No, not steps. You got to climb up rocks.
Yeah.
You're like, we were groveling.
But you're not going to come back down because there's no lights.
Right.
This is
not dark
there is no facilities. You get up there, you're going to be beating pans and pounding your drum, and you're going to be...
So basically, Long Beach is next to it. You have to climb up over this... Or Big Beach, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then you have to climb over this big rock to get over to Little Beach. Yeah. And and during the daytime, it's fine. Again, if you're agile. And if at nighttime, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's so cool when you get down there. Just a different perspective on the island.
So up the road from there... Yeah. We talked about the lava fields.
Right.
That's where you were going to run into the lava fields. just shortly after that.
Right.
And when we drove in there, I felt like I was on the moon. I mean, it literally, we were like, where are we at? Are we in like another world? And there's these lava fields, and they're huge, and they're black and they're hard, and they're also very sharp.
Right.
You do not get off and climb through them.
Not going to walk barefoot.
No, there was some. You're not going to walk without pants and some.
Well, they
shoes.
actually, if you remember, they were running cable and electric, and all they do is they drop it on top of the rock.
Right.
Because you're not going to go through. And the thing that was stunning to me is that the rock was fresh in like geological time, and I said, well, I didn't know this. I didn't know that they had the opportunity for Haleakala to
last
blow
volcanic eruption was in 1790.
I know.
So a few years ago.
And I did not want to be on the side of the mountain. That they do have a predictability a little bit, and they know where the lava would go.
What are the odds, Randy? 1790 is the last time.
Be careful, Gene.
Oh my goodness!
Be careful.
Gracious.
Go ahead.
Oh, wrap you in bubble wrap and stick you in a
hotel
somewhere.
Go ahead, Gene. Right. We shouldn't have gone down that road.
So, okay. So, all right. Remember we came back, though? Like, the road is pretty cool. You, like, drive all along the ocean to get there. And, like, you're, like, 5 feet from the ocean. And, I mean, obviously you don't want to drive fast, but it is a beautiful, stunning drive. And there's a lot of places you can kind of stop that you can get out. Remember, there was people living in their.
Oh, that's
people
what I said.
Checked out over there.
Those people are living in the bush.
Vans and but I mean, all great people. We talked to some of them. They were like really cool. They're just
they're just there hanging out. Yeah,
they fish and.
Oh, that reminds me. So before we go into the next topic, I want to go into shaka.
Shaka.
The story of the shaka.
What does shaka mean?
Well, it apparently means. It had its beginning. I did not know this.
Is this going to be another story?
No, this is coming out of your writing here, but it's pretty cool. Basically, a shaka is when you hold up your thumb,
right,
and you hold up your little pinky finger.
Yeah,
and it's a signal like when you leave somebody. It's really cool.
It's like hang loose.
Yeah, exactly.
Cocktails.
You're on your surfboard.
I don't know
how it started. It had a different meaning entirely. A guy was out in the ocean swimming, or I think he was surfing. And apparently a shark bit off those middle 3 fingers, and he pulled them up. And they thought,
"Is this a true story?"
True story, yeah. I did not know that. Shaka! I got a shaka!
But that is kind of that's like just like I mean, it's just like it's like a wave to people. I mean,
but I had no idea until I was looking through this history of that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the area to go back to that where that lava rock is, south side of the island, is an area called McKenna. Mm-hmm. And McKenna used to have a great golf course down there, and now we learned that they're going to be developing an area for about 30 lots, extremely private golf club, and you cannot bring guests, even your son. It's for the people who live there. But these are people, I'm not going to go into their names, but think of the top 10 richest people in the country.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of wealthy people, movie stars, and obviously,
people that own .coms
that
and
own beautiful property over there.
Big box stores and different things. So a lot of famous people come to Maui. What's next, Gene?
Well, we're famous.
Where are you taking? We're not famous.
We go to Maui.
We are the world's foremost authority. Hey,
go ahead.
No, we're the world's foremost authority on ecotourism.
Yes, we are.
I read that in the notes.
Do you remember when we were in? I was just thought of this just now. All these memories coming back, but in Lahaina.
Yeah.
Do you remember Fleetwood on Front Street?
Absolutely. They have an item on the menu for $32,498 on their menu to eat.
For what was that?
You get a cheeseburger and a Harley.
Nice.
Truthfully, it's what is it, Mick Fleetwood?
Fleetwood was there the night that we were there. Yeah. Now we were unfortunately we didn't know he was going to be there, so the tickets were already sold out. But literally, if you want to see one of the best sunsets, go to Lahaina, go up on the 3rd floor. They've got this outdoor bar, and it's apparently spectacular. That is one thing that we did not get to do. Yeah. But the night we were there, he was there, and there was people all over. It was kind of crazy. But apparently, he periodically shows up there, and I believe he must spend some time there because Daniel Sullivan was friends with him also. Right. Remember? Daniel had taken him on the Kings Highway, and they did a hike adventure or something.
Well, that was the day we met that young lady down in the art store.
Oh, yeah.
What was her name?
Ashley. Is it Ashley?
Ashley, yeah. Ashley. Truly incredible young lady. We miss.
Randy liked her a lot.
Oh, my God. She was not Native Hawaiian, but she was
beautiful.
Oh,
she was stunning.
My goodness. And the thing that was, she said, I do yoga on the shoreline. Why don't you bring your camera? Yes, where? What shoreline?
Randy was out looking for 4 mornings.
Yeah, we did. We both got up. Gene and I got up. We were up at Kapalua.
You?
No, it was a mission. This was just part. Well, I'm telling you, she's very nice. Very nice.
Part of our research.
Research. That's what we do. So if you just started, what's because Daniel Sullivan, you mentioned him. Do you want to go down and talk about
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. In Paia.
Yeah.
He owns a store. Actually, he's a very interesting gentleman.
Yeah.
He owns a store called Indigo, which is in Paia, which is also a real kind of eclectic, interesting little town.
Right.
And he began his research.
Right.
I think it was part of a Kickstarter project, right?
No, what he did, he's a world-class photographer. He's been all over the world. Beautiful, beautiful photography. And he did research on a place called the Kings Highway. Mm-hmm. And he actually went and took his camera and went down this highway. And this highway's been there, 400 or 500 years? 500,
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was used for trade. Mm-hmm. Actually, some barriers to separate the island, people fighting against each other, but it's still there. And his story was he almost died when he went on that trip. Mm-hmm. He was very lucky, even though he was very knowledgeable about Maui.
Do you know what they call that road?
The Kings Highway.
The road that sin built.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
That's what it says. That's
sin? What kind of sin?
Well, I think apparently it would. Well, I don't know. What would be sin back in the 1800s?
Well,
I don't know.
Naked is not a sin.
It was just. It was obviously an essential part of the people's life in Maui, as you said, for commerce and trade. It was actually protection from invasion too. I think it had something to do with some prisoners helped revitalize the thing because it was originally built by Native Hawaiians under King Pialani. And then it was revitalized. And I think some kind of crazy things happened in the 1800s there.
Well, it's something, actually, it runs across private and public property.
Yes, yeah.
We do not want this to be a area.
Well, and that is, say what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say.
What I'm going to say right now?
Yeah.
We're going to come back.
Oh, I knew that.
Come back, Randy and Gene. Here's something cool, Gene. We're going to talk about Kauai.
Kauai.
Because one of our trips in 2017, we're going to be there 2 weeks. One of the weeks, we're going to bring, hopefully, Nancy Lopez, the iconic LPGA Hall of Famer, on our trip with us to play some golf. Get to know her as you only can have, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Sitting on your lanai. And lanai is that little porch in the back.
Nancy's going to go to Kauai with us?
And, well,
I hope so.
Yeah. So tell me, let's talk about Kauai.
Kauai, my all-time favorite. I've actually been there 2 times.
Yeah.
And the reason I love it, it's an amazing outdoor. I mean, and all the islands are, but it's amazing outdoor opportunity. I almost, I did a bunch of things while I was there. But I horseback rode, and we did catamaran and whale watching, and did an incredible helicopter tour on the Nepali coastline. Right. It's got really 2 diverse climates. The northern part is rainforest. The southern part is real dry and arid. Yeah. And so it rains always in the northern part, like once a day. It rains so much you see waterfalls coming out of these mountains.
Wow.
It's crazy. And actually, it's one of the rainiest places in the world.
It is. We're going up by Princeville, though, right?
Yes, in Princeville. Yeah.
Yeah, St. Regis?
Pardon?
We're going to try to stay at the St. Regis?
I think so. St. Regis at Princeville.
Yeah.
Beautiful resort. Beautiful resort. Didn't stay there the last time I was there, but have had dinner there several times.
We'll get back to this in a minute. So just to finish that live little commercial about Kauai, didn't you almost die there?
Well... I had a dangerous accident. I actually was so the road does not go all the way around Kauai.
Of course not.
Because when you're in the mountainous region in the northern part, it's in its thick red clay.
Right.
Excuse me, and it rains so much there. Anyway, excuse me, choking. I was on an ATV, and we got into a really steep area, and it was muddy, and I rolled an ATV down a hill.
Nice.
Over the top of me.
So, cautious Randy.
Hey, but I didn't break anything.
So, can we go back to Maui now?
Sure.
Okay. So, your favorite thing you did on Maui, off of, down by Kihei.
Yes.
Paddleboard.
Yes.
SUP, stand-up paddleboard.
Stand-up paddleboarding.
Yeah.
Best, funnest experience in my life. It was. Yeah. It was. Well, I think we mentioned it earlier, though. Yeah. It was the scariest, most thrilling thing.
Yeah.
I got left alone for a while out there.
Yeah.
I was with my compatriots, and they all took off down the beach to have some coffee.
Right.
But anyway, it was very cool. I mean, I was out probably a mile and a half. How far out was I? A long ways.
You're a long way. My long lens camera was, as I was standing on the beach safely,
taking pictures.
Well, somebody had to record the event. basically you're a long way out there.
Right.
You know?
But I'll tell you what, I saw some of the most amazing wildlife underneath me. Like I mentioned the turtles in another episode. Some beautiful fish. I mean, it's like a social thing out there. Everybody knows each other. People are paddling around. They're like, hey, ho, ho, you know. And I mean, I'm out there. My first adventure, it's silk glass, you know, smooth. Yeah. Once you get through the waves to get out there.
It was interesting to watch you get out there and then sit on the board, because standing up in the paddleboard's not as easy as they make it appear.
It's not as easy as it looks. It is not. You have to have pretty good balance. Also, I got real kind of distorted out there because you're out so far in the water. You kind of lose your sense of like, I don't know what I'm looking for, but, you know, you don't have anything stationary. Everything's moving around you. So you literally have to, you know, get up on your hands and knees, lift yourself up, and it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, the people over there couldn't have been nicer because they actually made sure you got in.
Right. They came back for me. They left me for like 45 minutes, and then they came back.
One of the things we want to talk about briefly, who knew? A lot of people know this. Never bring anything from the islands back home. Bad luck.
Like, well, from the island though, like
meaning like rock, sand
or
things
or
like
something
that.
like that. Like you can bring things home.
Well, you can go to if you buy it.
Right.
Do not bring anything natural.
Got it.
Nothing. The reason for that is bad luck will rain down upon you. So let me read a note. This is just a note or two to emphasize that it's sent into Lava Rock Return to Hawaii. They've got pages of this, but I knew this. And a woman writes in, this rock was given to me by a friend who picked it up while I was in Hawaii on his honeymoon. I put it in a fish aquarium where it seemed to me to be harmless. After a couple of years, I got rid of the aquarium and misplaced the lava rock. I've been wanting to return the rock after hearing that you could do so. The other day, I happened upon a small pile of stones in my parents' backyard in their vegetable garden where nothing grows. I couldn't believe it. I rinsed off the dirt, and here it is. Enclosed in the box, I'm sending this back to Paley now.
Funny.
So I can find forgiveness, and I am happy this lava will be sent back.
So the moral of the story is
do not take anything off.
Do not bring anything back. Sand, rock, that kind of stuff.
So the guy that brought it because he got married over there?
He's dead now.
No, he got divorced shortly thereafter.
Oh, that's not funny, but I like that. Yeah, but that could happen for any reason.
Yeah. So anyway, Gene, we got so much to talk about. Get the highlight going.
I know. Oh, let's talk about Upcountry, the Upcountry market.
Yep,
Remember when we went to? Well, we were going several times. We went by it, didn't really realize what it was, and we had that lovely lady that shared with us. She knew a bunch of the people up there, but it's Upcountry Farmers Market. It's like a 40-year-old market. The cool thing is that stuff from there has to come from Maui locally. So there's no, I mean, you got to be growing it. It's got to be originally from there. But it is in Pukalani. Right next to, well, it's a park. It's a beautiful park there.
Yeah, nice little shopping center.
If you don't get there early, if you do not get there early, you will not get the stuff that you want. It
Before
is so
10.
popular. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
And that's the locals. This is not people coming up.
Right.
You
I would
talk
say
to anybody.
We were the only tourists there. I mean, really. And people were so nice.
So just briefly, when you go to Maui, and I want to finish talking about Luciano Zanin and Kula Bistro.
Yes.
But before we talk about that, the ecotourism idea was really started by us by thinking about what we do on Maui. And for instance, you can have a great hotel where people are sitting around a pool, having all the service in the world, having a great time swimming in a chlorinated pool, going inside and having beautiful food. Food everywhere in Hawaii is great. However, you can be like us and go to the beach and go in snorkeling, take a shoreline shower, and go down because everybody thinks it's really expensive to go to Maui. Mm-hmm. It isn't. You can go there. It's to me, it's always been not much different than going to Orlando.
It's like any place. You can spend a lot of money, or you can spend a little money.
Yeah, and these trips we're going to line up are not going to be tons of money.
Flights are super inexpensive right now.
Right now they are. Yeah, and there's times to go. They're what they call shoulder seasons. And when people go with us, we're going to be using those. And honestly, it's the best time to go. The weather's great. The prices are down. Nobody on the beach.
People are.
And guess what? We're going to have fun.
Yes.
We're going to take people with us and have fun. Kula Bistro. Luciana Zanin.
Good friend.
Yeah. This guy, if you get a card, one of my business cards or Gene's business card, and you take it up there, it's not going to be to get a discount. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be to meet one of the greatest guys on the island. that we fell in love with, his food, his location. So tell us about the location.
Okay, so here's the cool part. First of all, wait, I'm going to preface this story really quick. Right. We went to an Ocean Organic Vodka, right. And we had some vodka there, right. And we were just asked the lady.
It's a distillery.
It's a distillery. Right. Beautiful location, beautiful, right. Stunning. If you have an opportunity to go there too. Right. But my point in the story was we needed to eat something.
Right.
So we asked the lady there, and you're like, she goes, "Oh my gosh, you right. need to go to Kula Bistro. Like it's right. like this local restaurant." And so we had not seen it advertised anywhere. So we actually ended up getting in our car, kind of used Gene's GPS. And we ended up, it was like 15, 20 minutes away. We right. went up the hill a little bit or up the mountain. And we pull in there, and I'm kind of like, whoa, this is interesting. Right. We get in there, and it looks like it was like an old feed mill that had kind of been renovated. Yeah, old wood boards, really cool. Coke cooler in the corner, literally.
No freezer.
And back to the dessert thing, mm-hmm. the most stunning amount of desserts I've ever seen. Right. Fresh pies and cakes right. and pastries. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Delicious looking. So anyway, long and short of it, we had the most fantastic, and right. it's an Italian restaurant, right? Okay. So you're not really looking for an Italian restaurant, right. particularly like in a more local kind of, right. cafe environment. So we had the most fantastic, fabulous food. We were super hungry, and we'd finished our lunch. Right. This was the first time that we went there. And I think I got up, and you were like, I must have asked the waitress or something, like, who owns this or whatever. Yeah. And he Luciano happened to be sitting in the corner. Right. And he was talking with a friend of his and right. having lunch with him. Yeah. And he came over to our table, and we talked to him for about an hour. And the most fascinating, interesting man. We don't really have time for the story.
I'm really happy people feeling that way. That means that we do something right over here, But when the day I have the pleasure to meet you, mm-hmm. Your husband, it was a true pleasure because it's why I take my time to talk to you. Mm-hmm. If it was somebody else, I would never have done that because you're a special person. He is a special person, and I feel that when I was sitting down and talking to you briefly that day. Right. And it's a true pleasure. I want to thank you. They give me the opportunity to express myself.
Well, the feeling was absolutely mutual. I mean, it was just same exact feeling. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just that's what we love about what we do.
Fascinating, interesting man. We don't really have time for the full story, but he came from Italy with nothing in his pocket and became a world-renowned chef. He serves the NetJets. He has been all over the world. And
he served five presidents.
Humble, wonderful, quiet-spoken man that I've ever met, and so sweet and so kind. And a very heavy Italian accent. Yeah. So we had, a little bit of, I don't want to say barrier, but we just fell in love with it. Both of us did.
And it's not that expensive.
Sweetest man ever.
Yeah.
He feeds. In fact, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to take people up there when we go on this destination travel. Yeah. And I mean, he's very conscientious. He feeds a lot of the locals, and that's what
they're famous people that live up there.
Very famous people that live up there, and like Oprah. But anyway, it's interesting. But he was very concerned about that. He's like, look, I don't want to disturb my regular customers. Right. I would love to have your people come up, but we'll have to limit the number of people that can go. Yeah. So I mean, but he's just like I said, he's just a super kind, humble, loving man.
And the people that work for him love him.
Yes. He's had people there for like ever.
He cooks the food. He works over the grill every day. He has never missed a day of work. He's cooked for 5 presidents, mm-hmm. Prince and Princess of Brunei, Prince and Princess of Japan. As Gene said, he puts all the food in the NetJets for all the famous people flying in.
Oh, and we also said there's no freezer there. Everything is fresh, and whatever's on the menu for the day, as far as the fish, it's whatever's been fresh caught and they picked up that day.
Yeah, so. And he's one of the people that uses Mike McCory's food. No, he doesn't. I don't know. Somebody does. Well, so who did Mike serve somebody up there?
He was at the Humuhumu. He does.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Got that confused. No, Luciano, he won't tell you this. I'm not going to say what it is, but he is one of the most renowned chefs in the world, without question. And we just cannot wait to
and we love him, and that's the first place that we go when we get there.
Yeah, and the thing of it is that he said, because we've got to know him, I won't charge you for dinner. And we go, no. Yeah. That's not why we're here. We love you. Right. We love the food.
Well, and the food is just so good. And the desserts are.
Well, I remember I had the same thing every day. They had this whitefish, and it was served on like a pasta and lettuce. And
Do you remember also? I just thought of this too. The person that's the baker there, or that is that does all the desserts and stuff.
Yeah.
Was it Lydia?
Yeah, Lydia. They he does. Well, the guy that's a baker there, he does a lot of weddings. He's well known all over the island.
It's Tracy McGuire's wife's friend, I think.
How do we know everybody on the island at this point?
It doesn't take long. That was kind of the thing too.
Well,
now we've been back there a few times,
just quickly.
Literally, we know people.
Okay, so what's the place we went down and did that bakery when they make the muffins in the lavender farm?
The lavender. Jeannie's.
Yeah,
Jeannie's bread shop.
Yeah.
Oh goodness gracious! How could we forget that?
Just down the hill.
Yeah, from the lavender farm.
20 minutes. No, it's not even that far. Maybe 10 minutes.
Like 5 minutes over. Yeah, from the lavender. Coming down, if you're in Haleakala, coming down the hill, you're gonna get down about probably 3,500 feet. She does no advertising. She has no website. She bakes bread and she sells it all over the island.
You know what this music is? End of the show.
Sounds like hula hula.
We're going to be saying aloha.
Aloha.
And come with us on our next trip. Randy and Jean, we want to take you back to Maui.
We would love to have you. We'd love to have you have the experiences that we've had.
We only talked about 2%, really, just to Maui.
It was like a 10,000-foot flyover, I think.
Yeah, well, it was. And no notes.
Right.
We loved it, and we'd love to have you come along with us.
Absolutely. Hope you can.